Hoka, hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita Livestream of April the 14th, 2023. What would it be like to date Alita? Where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host, the Muskogee Creek, and I am back in Denver, Colorado for this at this point in time. And with me, we have Lee. He's from Fountain, Colorado. How's it going, Lee?
Howdy, going pretty good.
Cool. And from the UK, we have Vladi. How's it going, Vladi?
Evening all. Pretty good. How about yourselves?
Oh, we're doing great. Here in Colorado, we had 27 degrees Celsius, 81 degrees Fahrenheit yesterday, and it's snowing today. So
it's just cloudy and windy with a bit of rain sprinkled in. Usual England here.
Springtime.
A little warmer down here, just some rain.
Yeah.
Well,
springtime in the Rocky Mountains. That's what it is. So stuff happens, you know. So anyway, I guess I got the times right this time, huh, Blondie?
Yeah, well done. I was worried. I was thinking about clarifying British summertime to be like, are you sure it's in exactly 1 hour 30 minutes? But I thought I'd just trust you on this one this time.
Yeah. Well, it seemed to work out. So because I mess up every year on the daylight saving.
It is really confusing.
Yeah, it is. So anyway, welcome aboard, guys. Before we get to the regular topic, I guess Angelus will be on shortly because he was saying I don't have the link, send me the link, So I sent him the link and he's not here. So, but that's okay. It's kind of
always the link.
Yeah, that's right. It's always the link. So anyway, I guess our girls, the number of signatures on the petition is still growing week after week. Between 20 and 30 every week, sometimes 40 new signatures every week. So it keeps going up. Yeah. So that's a good thing. And once again, the Creek forgot to put the damn website down the bottom in the description. So I'll have to do that after the stream is over. So as I've mentioned before, we've got more signatures for our girls sequel than the Snyder Cut got for their version of Justice League. So I think they had 176,000. We got over 177,000. So hey, that's a positive thing.
I'm just scrolling past the Snyder Cut tweet right now as you say that.
Yeah,
still going strong, those lads.
Yeah, they are. Well, I hope they get it too, because I really enjoyed that series. Or it was a movie actually, but they kind of put it together like a series almost. Where they had
wasn't it in like 4 chapters or something?
6, I think, but I'm not sure.
Something
like that, though. 4 to 6 anyway. So if anybody in the future, I think most everybody on this stream has probably already signed the petition. But for those of you in the future, people, if you haven't signed the petition, please do so. We want Disney to know that we want that sequel, damn it. So, and in those words in that order too, by the way. So, and Avatar Way of Water keeps going up. So I think last week it was
still not done yet.
Nope, still going up.
Swimming away.
That's right. So last week I think it was 2.23 or something like that. And now it's 2.24. So, and this is in 4 months. I guess Sunday will be but
it was over 2.3.
It was, but I think it's because I had the wrong number up there. I think I copied it wrong or something. So still the 3rd highest ranking movie of all time in terms of gross revenue. So
yeah, how crazy would you have to be to not give them, the person who just made that, the 3rd highest grossing film of all time, another like awesome franchise to make more money?
You'd have to be Disney crazy. That's how.
Exactly, man. They've got to be run by like robots or something. I don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I guess the hello X-Man 577, and it looks like somebody there in Russian. I can't read that name. Anyway, Alexei Kotaka or something like that. Kokto or something. Anyways, welcome to the stream, guys. James Cameron, what is he? Those two movies in a row have made $5.5 billion. Avatar 1 and Avatar 2. I mean, come on, guys, $5.5 billion on 2 movies. You know, really. Plus, he's got Titanic. You know, so they got to do it. You know, I mean, give him a shot. You know,
it's ridiculous that they haven't already.
Yeah, exactly. You know, their thought is, of course, is well, it only made 404 million. You know, but yeah, it only made 404 billion. But if
that's not bad for a first try with everything that went against it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So,
which Disney got to take some responsibility for, because the merger played a big factor into it, and a lot of the critics in a kind of access media kind of way are on sort of, they were like ready to hype up Captain Marvel in a big way, and Alita was just kind of in the way as like a female
cut her
movie.
Down a bit, yeah.
It was like, come on, Disney have like a responsibility, because it's partially their fault that she didn't make as much money as she deserved.
Plus, Fox didn't really, 20th Century Fox didn't market it like they should have too, I think. So
partially because of the merger, because everyone was like, oh, we're leaving soon anyway.
Yeah, that's right. And they didn't give a shit. So, you know, that's the way it works, I guess. But anyway, you see Avatar: Way of Water. If you haven't seen that movie, go see it. If it's
Saw
still
it 5
playing.
times in the cinema. I think that's a pretty good total.
Well, it's also on Blu-ray right now too, and I think it might be streaming, but I'm not sure.
I think it's on digital purchasing and rent.
Oh, okay.
Not streaming yet.
Oh,
it's not on Disney Plus yet.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, there you have it. Go see that movie. It's really great. You've seen it, haven't you, Blotty?
Yeah, I've seen it 5 times. It's really great.
Oh, wow. And I won't embarrass Lee. Lee's pretty busy, so I won't embarrass him and ask him if he's seen it yet. So.
Yeah, it's not so much that I'm busy. It's just cost of getting up there and doing it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to save up for a lot of other stuff.
Okay.
Although there is some time constraints as well. So
yeah. So anyway, folks, go see Avatar: Way of Water, and you won't regret it. It's a great flick. It's really, it's got.
It really is a great movie. I don't understand how anyone could be negative about it.
Yeah. Well, they were negative in the beginning, I think. It's not even going to make $1 billion. It's going to flop and all that crap we heard on Twitter. And then all of a sudden, boom, $2.2 billion.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I just really love that crap, Just blow them away. So, all right, guys, I guess we hit those 2 things hard enough, and let's get right on into the main topic. So
I had no idea what the topic was when I came on, by the way.
Oh, well,
I've just got a couple of days off work, and I thought I'd just hop on whatever was being discussed.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
This could go down some weird avenues.
Well, I'm not going to let it do that. I don't want to get dodgy with this.
Yeah, she's your niece, isn't she?
Yes, she is. And I don't want anything to get torrid about it. I want it to be.
I'm surprised you'd even have this conversation.
Well, she's a lively teenager, and there's a fun side to her and all that. And I just thought it'd be a neat little thing to talk about.
Exactly.
In terms of her being a person, because she's not only human in my estimation. Even though she's like 98% machine, she's still got a human brain, and she has human feelings and very much human personality.
Exactly.
So yeah, very much just an all-round good person.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating to think about how a human could exist in a machine body, and all the logistics of day-to-day living, and all the close, intimate stuff as well. I find that really interesting, like how the technology will develop to eventually have prosthetic limbs that can feel the kind of touch and sensation, the pleasure that you can get from real human skin. I find that fascinating, and how that's all going to happen in the future.
Yeah. Well, they've already got that. They've already got a prototype limb that has a sense of touch out right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And they got prototype eyes like that too, that give it some sense of vision. If you lose an eye, they put this bionic eye, and it does help. You see something, because what happens when you see something, your brain kind of reconstructs it. So you have to train, I guess, using the eye. And if you got another eye, if you got a regular eye. This is what I've thought about this. I'm not a scientist. I don't know this stuff for sure, but it does. Your brain adapts to it, and you're able to have some sense of vision out of that eye. So, it's pretty cool. They have that today.
Yeah.
What do they actually see?
I don't know. I certainly I have 2 human eyes, so I don't know. But
or they might have given a representation or something.
Yeah, well, I just read about it. It's all I've done. I read about it on I forget what website it was.
If you've got one good eye that can see perfectly,
yeah,
I don't know if you'd want another eye that can just see like light or something.
Well, I think now this is just what I've garnered from this one article, and I can't even remember what it was now. But I was reading it day before yesterday, I think, and basically what it does is it kind of I guess you could say augments what you see with your remaining good eye, and your brain is able to reconstruct the images. So that's what I think I've read in that thing. But now certainly I'm not a ophthalmologist or an optometrist or anything like that, or cyber expert, or cyber expert.
It's just fascinating, that whole field, isn't it? And Alita really drew me into that more.
Yes,
just because it made you love a character that is her whole existence is because of that. And the way
Tilly. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Sounded like you were going to say something with great enthusiasm there, and I interrupted.
Well, yeah, I was wondering, Tilly Lucky, she can't feel anything with her limbs, can she?
Exactly. I can't wait for her when the technology develops, she'll be able to try new arms that have that. It's going to be beautiful.
Oh yeah, boy, that would be great. I just love that for her. Tilly's really
a delight.
She's super in my book, that's for sure. So anyway, let's talk. We're going to get into these topics. We don't have to hit them right here. This is just like a setup. So have
you got a PowerPoint?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I wonder how you sorted this out.
I got like 30 something slides on this, No, I don't have 99 slides, Maxie, if you're out there in the chat. So anyway, here's what we want to talk about dating Alita, and then we're going to kind of add a couple of other things, like Girls Night Out and Cyborgs Night Out. That's a couple of I guess topics that Angelus wanted to add. What it would be
coming
like.
in yet? I thought he was just trying to get the link.
No, he's probably asleep still. It's Saturday morning there, and he's
is he working?
Well, he's working days now, I think, and he. Probably Saturday morning he sleeps in, so that's cool. We're
sleeping on Alita.
That's right.
How could you, Angelus?
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, here's some of the things we want to address that are going to be important if you were someone who was age appropriate and wanted to approach Alita and ask her to go out with you or something like that. Of course, you'd have to go through her Uncle Creek first. He's got to make sure that you're good enough for his niece.
You don't exist in her universe. I'm sorry.
I know she's
accepting that.
This is 300 something. Oh, here's Angelus. There he is. Yeah, she's like she's like 500 years in the future. So so yeah. But anyway, but her Uncle Creek is he has the ability to time travel. So there you have it.
Get out of her reality.
So anyway. Good day, Angelus.
Fantasizing about Alita, then suddenly Creek's there, like, hey, I'm Uncle Creek. Get out of it. Go away.
Hear it now.
Yeah, get away from my niece, Mister. Hey, Angelus, how's it going?
Hey, Angelus.
And you can just imagine, it'll just be like Creaky, and then Bloody, and then me, and then all of a sudden you get like hundreds of hunter warriors just surround him. It's like, hey, don't break her heart. We'll take pieces of breaking your neck, or I don't know,
that's right.
Threatening.
You better be good
to have a bar fight.
Well, to borrow a quote, if you break her heart, we'll nail gun yours to the wall.
Well, you break my niece's heart, and I'll bench press your ass. So there you have it. But anyway, here's how's it going down there in Brisbane and Queensland, Australia there, Angelus?
Good start to the morning.
Oh, good. Cool.
What time is it there?
8:15.
Yeah.
So it's even earlier now because the clock shifted, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm amazed that Creaky got the time right. He told me the British summertime and he got it right.
No, it took me 2 weeks to get it right.
He got there in the end.
Yeah, that's right. It did. So anyway, well, I'm glad I got it right. Angelus would have been an hour late again, I guess, if I hadn't. So.
Yeah, and I could have been either an hour early or an hour late.
He would have missed out on all this good stuff, So anyway.
Exactly.
So here are some of the things we need to talk about if we're going to, kind of address if you were someone who could get past her Uncle Creek to have a date with her. Here's some of the things we need to talk about is the qualities that you would need, as someone who wants to go out with Alita. And then we're going to talk about her qualities. We're going to go into her qualities in more depth. And then we're going to do a kind of a date night or date day. Now, all of these topics that you see here are Angelus's idea. He came up with this, so that was pretty cool. At first, I think he's had just date night, but I expanded that to daytime because, sometimes if you're going to go out with someone, it can be during the day. It doesn't have to be at night.
Yeah, you want to go on a lovely summer walk in the sunshine in the middle of the day. Why not?
Yeah, something like that.
That would be lovely with Alita.
And then, of course, girls' night out. So we'll chat about that. And then Cyborg's night out, which is going to be a lot different than girls' night out. That's for sure.
Don't we need to get KranberriJam in here or someone for girls' night out? I need some kind of inside information.
Well, I invited Kran
in this sausage fest.
I invited Kran, but she's real busy on Friday nights a lot of times. I think she hosts
her in her social life.
Yeah, I guess. So anyway. But anyway, these are the 5 different areas that we're going to address talking about Alita, about dating Alita. That is. Sorry about that. I had to sneeze. Okay, here are the qualities that you would need if certainly one of the requirements would be getting past her Uncle Creek. But after you've done that, then of course Uncle Creek's going to make sure you have these qualities before you even get close to her.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, not that she needs me to
shut up about Uncle Creek. I'm going on a date with Alita.
So anyway, you need to be an understanding individual because, well, for one thing, remember she's a cyborg. And there's Chaos Nova coming in. Cool. Hey, Chaos, how's it going there in Mentor?
Hi, the Hell Week is over. That's all I need to say.
Nice.
Hey, I saw that. I'm glad to have a couple of days off after the Easter because I was away from home over Easter.
Oh no, this isn't Easter. This is called National Tax Day, and there's a few
oh my god.
Do
you have until April the 18th this year?
Yeah, you do. But most people still did it before the 12th, and I'm happy
that sounds fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say like you can let the feds know, hey, I'm going to be overdue. It's called an extension.
Yeah, you can do that, but you still got to estimate what you think your taxes would be, and if you underestimate, they will penalize you. So, be careful.
But it's still worse if you don't let them know.
Yeah, that's much worse. Yeah.
Actually, one of the astronauts on Apollo 13 had to actually call and tell NASA to forward that, hey, I haven't finished my income tax. You need to add like 3 extra weeks for me.
Yeah.
And this is the one that didn't actually make it to the moon. It's the one that they had to crash.
Yeah, that's right. The one that had I guess it was the
command module. The command module lost its spare oxygen tank.
Yeah, that's right. Because when I think when one of them stirred the oxygen tank, it exploded because it had some kind of glitch in it or something that. It blew out the side. Yeah, it blew out the side of the spacecraft. Those guys were lucky.
Didn't want to be on that.
So so they had to move everyone to one module because one module didn't have any air. Because normally they would split it up between the command and the landing module, but they couldn't do it because one module lost its oxygen supply.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's get it back to dating Alita right here. Certainly, I said you'd have to be an understanding individual because she is a cyborg. She's not pure human, you know. So
you can't be a bigot. You can't hate hard bodies.
Exactly. That's exactly right. You know, matter of fact, it's funny you mentioned that, Vladi, because
Tanji.
yeah, Tanji. Yeah, but
I'm extremely progressive. I love hard bodies.
Okay. Careful now, Vladi. You're talking about my niece now. So
what? I'm saying, like, I support all differently abled people.
I got you. But anyway, what I was going to say is that in Lee's fanfic, you know, he has kind of like a little scene there where I guess Ito and his main character Jason Deshane is talking about, you know, he has problems initially anyway. He
develops problems with cyborgs,
yeah, he has a hard time being in the same room with Alita because all he's seen her on is the motorball type games, and he sees her just ripping the hell out of these cyborgs that are 4 or 5 times bigger than her, and she's all he sees just from that is his impression is that she's just a brute, you know, she's just you know, almost psychotic individual.
Bloodshed and death.
That's right. But when he meets her in person, he finds out, holy crap, she's nice. So it's kind of funny, you know, when you read through it, you know, how different your initial perception of someone is. And then when you finally meet them, you know, or you get to know them a little better, you say, well, this person isn't so bad. You know, it's nothing like I thought they would be, you know. But that's just it on the understanding thing. It's kind of what you were saying there, Vladi, is you can't be a bigot, you know, about if you had it would be attuned to some kind of racism, I guess, against cyborgs.
I would say that there's also the understanding would also play into understanding that she's got physical capabilities, you don't.
That's right.
And to be aware and respectful of the power she does have. So don't, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
I mean, if you're getting freaky, she'd probably be able to accidentally snap you in half and without even realizing it.
Yeah. Well, we're not.
I don't think we're onto that slide yet.
Well, we've already said, Angelus, we're not going to get too dodgy here. I don't want to get into any sexual stuff.
We can do a non-streamed section.
That's right. So anyway, those are 2 good points because she could. One thing you'd have to remember now, I think with her, you could disagree with her. I don't think she's going to, you know, rip your head off if you disagree with her, you know, but you do have to be aware that she is probably 100 times stronger than you are. And you have to just respect that, you know, I mean, you know, and that's part of that understanding, you know, and being accepting of someone who's not 100% human, you know.
Well, that's the thing. I would disagree with the phrasing of that because in my estimation, for me at least, she is 100% human. She has a fully prosthetic body.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, it's like with a lot of the disabled veterans coming back from the wars. It's like a lot of them, they don't become less human because there's less of them.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, that's right. And we've said on this stream that we thought she was human. So that was my bad on that. Yeah, she is human. But my point is, you have to come to grips with she is a cyborg. You know.
Yeah,
and she is orders of magnitude stronger and more capable than you are physically. So
and it's not that relevant to us because we're totally fine with that. But
she's also got some limitations as well. Like if you were in a long-term relationship with her, you can't expect to have children with her.
Yeah, that's right.
Right,
and you have to have some understanding of that
or whatever, though, right? Too.
Oh, you could adopt easily, yeah.
And, you know, who knows what that berserker body is capable of?
Well, if it was in her Imaginos body, I think you probably could have children with her.
The movie though, you never know.
Yeah, you don't know what they're going to do with
all kinds of different functions.
Yeah.
If there may be some, like, reproductive thing going on there.
Yeah, we don't know.
Who knows?
But certainly in her doll body, no. That's not an option.
Definitely not in that. That's...
Well, I imagine the berserker body probably I imagine the Berserker body is probably a purely a weapon for the most part. I mean, it may have some capabilities to allow a person to keep their humanity, as it were, by allowing them to engage in a lot of human functions.
It's not a complete weapon then.
Well, you got to keep the soldier
if it
sane.
has functions that keep your humanity, like it obviously has functions that aren't necessary to be a warrior, like there are a lot of the touch sensations, the pleasure from that. You don't need that.
Multiple purposes. A hatchet is a weapon. It's also a tool. It's both.
That's right. Yeah.
It's also a hammer if you use the blunt side.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, no.
So I think the body has been like made to function in multiple ways, not just because to be like berserkers are human beings, right? So they would want all that kind of human functionality.
The film and the manga implied the berserker body was used for suicide missions, like a kamikaze warfare type deal.
Yeah.
I never would have thought of that for the movie.
Well, that was just it, because when she was going to go into what was it, Operation Malwarf, I think it was. She was supposed to destroy all the Earth ships, I think it was, and then after that she would.
Yeah, that was supposed to be a suicide mission, basically.
Yeah, and she didn't go through with it. So, and we're glad she didn't.
But it gets a little complicated, but because I mean, if given that Chaos got his essentially got adamantium bonded by Destiny Nova, does that make him a cyborg? I don't know.
Well, if he's got any, how would you say, intimately connected machine or system-oriented parts, then he would be a cyborg.
Yeah, if he's got integrated mechanical systems, he'll be a cyborg then.
Well, it's on the inside, though. It's not like...
No, it doesn't have to be on the inside. You know, Maxie is got
a lot of most cyborg
implants,
stuff. Most of the cyborgs, cybernetics that they count into that was originally in a lot of the old cyberpunk stories internally placed, like neural reflex enhancers, or an extra circulatory system, or like a backup heart, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or JC Denton. I had to play the Deus Ex games at one point.
Yeah.
So anyway, to bring it back, I guess, you would have to have this level of understanding and acceptance of her, you know, the way she is, you know, and if you would have to, that would have to include respect, you know, because I mean,
also be understanding of the fact that she is a warrior and she does love to fight. Yeah,
that's right. You know, now she has a soft side, but she has a very dark side too. So you have to be aware of that, you know. Yeah. Or else you'll discover, like Chaos did, you know, when he was kind of getting a little frisky with her when she was laying on that gurney and she slugged him.
It's not going to do much because bones don't break. So it's just like, it's like slapping Wolverine in the face. I mean, it's like clank.
And also going to the next bullet, I guess, if you want to have a really decent friendship with her, or say good time, you know, if you want to go out with, you got to be supportive, you know, or else it's not going to work, you know. I mean, and what that means is you can't be dissing her, you know, or saying something like you're not a human, and you know,
because she's going to be supportive of you, and you can't take that for granted. You have to return that support as well.
That's exactly right. And it's got to be.
I thought you meant supportive of her, like doing motorball, which is kind of dangerous. Like I'd be terrified every time she went out there that she'd.
Well, yeah, but you would still have to be, and I do mean that, Blotty. But you remember Ito came around on that. If you remember, he did not want her being a hunter warrior, or a motorball player. But eventually, he said, "Well, look, it's not right for me to hold her back." You know, so
it's her life to live, and she's going to live it, and she can live it with you in it or without you in it.
Yeah, that's right. So
exactly, you've got to let her live her life.
Yep.
She lives by her own rules, as we know.
That's right. And then, of course, you know, being that if you were going to be a friend with her, you know, I mean, I don't necessarily mean a lover now. I mean, I'm not talking about that. But if if you're a friend and you just go out from time to time, you're going to have to be somewhat flexible. What I mean by that is, you know, she's a hunter warrior, so there'll be times like maybe several nights in a row she's not going to be available for you, you know, to go out with, or she's going to be training for a motorball match, you know, and that's going to be number one on her list at that point, you know. So that means you yourself have to be adaptive of that. And that also,
yeah, but I think the other thing too is even if it is romantic, you gotta have something more than just romantic stuff to enjoy together. I'm not kidding about that.
Yeah, each person's
like
gonna have
what?
their own interests.
You play bocce. Well, I'm just saying, my wife and I like playing, Mario Kart or bocce together, and that's, it's something that's cool, bocce, because you don't have to necessarily both be super strong to play it. It's also accuracy and knocking the ball.
Did you play bocce ball, Chaos?
Bocce? Yeah, I like it.
I played bocce ball. It is fun,
I don't even know what that is, to be honest.
Well, it's kind of like
it's an Italian sport. It's similar to golf. You try to knock a ball close to the marker, and you want to get your ball as close to the mark, be the closest one out of you or your opponent. And you can also knock your opponent away from the marker. To make it hard.
It's kind of like a combination between what you see on curling and I guess lawn bowling. It's kind of a combination of that.
But the bocce balls are lighter than a bowling ball.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Less heavy than a bowling ball. But yeah, my wife and I like to do bowling together too.
Yeah, I used to do bowling. Of course, now if I was bowling, I'd want to throw a 50-pound ball. But...
Can you imagine Alita doing bowling and she throws the bowling ball way too hard?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. The other thing about bocce is that you can't throw the ball out of bounds, so you have to not throw too hard.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, so you'd have to be patient, with her a lot of times because, like I say, she does have. This hunter warrior and this motorball competitor player type requirements on her that might take her, out of, she may not be available to have fun with you at certain times. She's
going to have her own thing she's going to be involved in.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And that's like anybody. If you're dating or anybody, or you're married even, or you're just living with somebody, they got to have their time as well as you got to have yours. And I don't mean to turn this into a marriage counseling session either. So
can't we just run away in the Badlands and never see anyone else ever again?
There should be other activities besides romance to do together. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we're going to get to that.
Bocce.
We are going to get that. We are going to get to that, Chaos. So, but you do have to be patient. And just be. Well, patience and understanding and being flexible, that's a no-brainer, right? You're in a relationship with somebody, you got to have those qualities, and the same would be true with her,
I wonder what Alita's favorite, human sport like bocce would be, like golf kind of sport, where it's not about power or speed, it's about finesse.
I'm not sure. I mean, we didn't get enough of her in the movie on that.
I'll send a thing in the private chat so people can look up bocce.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, the next bullet, that fifth bullet, is not an absolute requirement, but if you are physically capable,
is anyone physically capable in comparison to Alita?
I don't mean that. I don't mean that. What I mean, because I think if you were not, if you weren't some kind of a martial arts expert, or you weren't, say, a power lifter, or you weren't a really good some kind of competitor at sports or something, I don't think that's a requirement for Alita to enjoy going out with you. But what I'm saying is if you have those kind of skills, I think it would be more enjoyable for both of you. Now, if you compete,
you could train together and stuff.
Yeah, and if you say you do some kind of event, some kind of activity with her like that, you're going to have to come to grips with she's probably going to kick your ass pretty good. And you have to remember not to make it competitive to the point where it could hurt your friendship with her.
You have to obviously accept your lower place in the physical pecking order.
That's right.
Which may feel a bit emasculating, but what can you do?
Well, that's part of the understanding thing. It's part of that.
Exactly, yes.
So anyway, but I got some slides coming up on this too, so we don't have to get into it too much right here. But I think it would be more enjoyable if you were physically capable to some degree. It's not a requirement. She could like you if you're not some He-Man sports type. I think she could get along with you pretty well.
She's totally connected on a spiritual level. So it doesn't matter if you're a puny meat boy.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, if you're a puny meat boy, then I see. Chaos has got.
I think it's more if she likes you as a person.
That's going to be the most important thing. You know, here's the bocce ball thing. I'm gonna put it in the chat, guys. So if you can go look that up, it's a fun game. I've played it. You know, so really fun. But
we play croquet.
Well, it is kind of like croquet, I guess. Sort of,
No,
I guess.
Yeah, closer to bowls.
Well, you don't hit the ball with a stick. You have to roll it.
You bowl it.
Yeah.
You roll it like bowling.
I like bowls as well.
Yeah. So anyway, getting back to this. If you're physically capable, I think you'll have a better time with her. You know, is all I'm saying. You know,
for sure. Alita deserves someone who's like physically on her level, like a figure 4 kind of really well cut body. You know what I mean?
I don't think. Well, I think she could like you if you weren't figure 4. And by the way, figure 4
Definitely.
is not.
I'm saying she deserves it. And if she loves you for who you are, you should then like start working out, start lifting.
Yeah, or do something. Yeah, I mean, because I think you'll have more fun with it. Yeah, and you'll have more fun. The two of you would have more fun.
She doesn't deserve like a podgy, doughboy.
No, she doesn't.
You got to get as close to hard body as you can to match her.
Or at least show her you're making the effort, I guess. So,
exactly. Yeah. Do a few push-ups now and then with her when she's at home.
Well, you have to be aware that she probably do 2,000 push-ups and you could only do 10 maybe.
Yeah.
You have to be aware of that, but that's fine. So, but anyway, that physically capable is kind of an optional, but it would be a good thing to have for it. For your
always a good thing generally in life to be physically capable.
Well, sure it is. I mean, I know
that's why Creepy's going so strong. All his lifting.
Well, that's why it keeps me going anyway. So
exactly.
And of course, you'd have to love animals. I think, particularly dogs, because I think Alita is a dog person.
Yeah, and so Rosa Salazar.
What if dogs are like don't leave you alone? What if they like you? Because it irritates me. But dogs like me for whatever weird reason, and this is real life. I don't know why.
I don't know there, Chaos. Maybe you ought to wear a pork chop around your neck or something. That might get them going. So I don't know about that, Chaos. Now, I know personally, I love dogs. It's.
I mean, I like them, and I'm fine with the cat, but
I think any animal. I think dogs, cats, and in the novelization, she loved birds. There were those little birds that were in that cage, and she wanted.
I think the only
butterflies?
animal she didn't really like was this one specific kind of butterfly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, where she shot the whole side of that building out trying to shoot that butterfly. Figure 4 says, "What the hell was that?" That was a funny panel right there. And she's got this look on her face like, "Oh my God!" It just blew the whole side of the building out trying to shoot this butterfly. It was kind of funny, But I think if you love dogs, you would have another level in which you could connect with her on, because she really loves dogs. She loves birds for sure. Because, like I say, that was in the novelization where she wanted Ito to buy those birds so they could set them free, and then Ito said, "Well, no, they wouldn't survive because the Zolem's air defense system would shoot them out of the sky." So anyway, but she loved birds too, and I could only believe she would love cats, or guinea pigs or anything. She probably would like all kinds of animals,
Because she's so empathetic. A lot of people who like animals are really empathetic, and that's one reason why. As soon as she saw the dog, she was like, "Oh my God, I have to protect this creature."
Yeah, well, she does have empathy. That's right. That's
indeed.
That's a quality I may have forgotten in this thing, and we can talk about that.
It's one of her strongest qualities.
Yeah, it is. As a matter of fact, when you probably saw this at the end of the movie, I know it's in the manga a lot. She kind of connects with those individuals that she's fought, and maybe has taken them down. Then she connects with them mentally, or emotionally. But she kind of even did that. Movie? Well, she kind of even did that in the movie. Yeah, when she cut Zapan's face off, she was really intense, when she did it. But if you will notice after that, he said, my face, you know, and the look on her face was like she was sad for him, you know.
Yeah, and she was like, oh shit, I can't believe I just did that.
Yeah, something like that, you know. So she showed empathy even then, you know. So, yeah, I think these are the things you would have to deal with right here. Now, I got anything else? Is there anything else you guys can think of? Now, we're gonna come up with more specifics here on each one of these, but just off the top of your head, did we miss anything?
Not sure.
Other issues like maybe hope your parents aren't evil or something.
Possibly. I don't
think have supervillains for mom and dad.
Father is evil, mother unknown.
Make sure you don't have any brain chips from Nova.
Yes. Yeah, you can't have that.
No, that's a big red flag.
Yeah,
if your eyes suddenly go blue and they're normally brown, big red flag. You're not allowed to date.
What if you're just a blind guy who always has pale eyes because you're blind?
Well, if they're not blue, then you're fine.
No.
Oh, well, the Creek's got blue eyes. But,
so do I. So we're out of luck, I'm afraid.
But the Creek's our uncle, so he's out. But,
I'll wear contacts.
Yeah. So anyway, but I don't think intelligence is a requirement because, you know, I think Hugo, with all his fault, I think he was very intelligent.
Well,
he had the ability to survive.
There's knowledge and there's the willingness to learn more. If you not have the willingness to learn more, that's the problem.
Yeah. Well, I think with Figure 4, who she really went for, he wasn't the brightest bulb in the punch. You know, he was. To me, he was. I don't know what he was. He was
a bit thick at times.
Yeah, he was. You know, and she certainly loved him. So I mean, I don't think intelligence is. Or being, how would you say, book smart, as they say down south, you know.
Well, there's knowledge and there's the ability to learn more. That's what intelligence really is.
Yeah, that's
being able to adapt and learn more.
Yes. So I don't think that's a requirement for her, though.
I think it's more empathy,
Yeah.
Respect, humor, sense of humor, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sense of humor is important.
Yeah.
Because she's clearly good fun.
Well, she does laugh a couple of times with Hugo, doesn't
Exactly. You want to make her laugh and smile all the time. You'd be in heaven if you saw that all day.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
probably having some strong convictions of your own that you're willing to stand by.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
She doesn't want like someone who just agree with her all the time just because she could rip your arm off.
Yeah, don't be a suck up.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't be an Alita simp.
As a matter of fact, she would respect you if you had a point of view that was different from hers. You know, that I don't mean different in that you're going to betray her or try to kill her or something like that.
Yeah, you can't be
like
evil.
A different political view or something.
Yeah, I think if you just had some kind of, like say, a point of view or some concept that's
if you've got differing points of view on something.
Yes, I think she would love that. You know, for one thing, it would really strike up good conversation. You know, and you could joke.
She'd love to be challenged.
Yes. And here's one thing I don't have on here is that ability to keep doing what you got to do to make things happen, to achieve an objective. You remember when Figure 4 fought her in the desert? She literally kicked his butt and she literally stomped him in the ground and he kept getting up and his face was all mangled and he was all beat to hell, you know, and she says, "Oh my God, I can't believe this guy." He kept getting up, you know, and I think she respected that a lot, you know. And I haven't been putting this up here, but you need to, that's just what we were talking about there, Jeff, you know, that, or Künstler 99, I guess is who that is. If let's say she wanted to spar with you, you know, that would be dangerous. But if you said, "Okay, I'll spar with you," and she kicks your butt, you better keep getting up as much as possible until you're physically unable.
I think that actually comes back to physical capability. I think a normal flesh and blood human isn't going to be sparring with her. no matter how much they might want to.
Yeah. And of course, if she really likes you, she probably wouldn't go full out on you either. You know, I mean, she's not going to try to break your arm or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know?
She's got to have such great self-control, does our girl.
Yeah, she does. So, okay. So anyway, getting to this in more detail, I guess in terms of, you know, some of the qualities that she has, Alita is a caring individual. And this is where the empathy thing comes in, you know, she really does care for the people that she loves, her family, you know, her friends.
She'd do anything for Hugo and for Ido.
Yep. Or even Gearhead, you know, she'd do anything for her too, you know, because Gearhead's kind of like her mother figure, you know, sort of.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really positive quality, you know.
In fact, in the book, when she found out from Hugo that Tanji got killed, she was going to go out there, and she felt bad that you know, something had happened to Tanji, even though she didn't really like him and he didn't like her. He had still, through Hugo, become part of her circle, as it were. And so she would have been willing to go out there and protect even Tanji if she'd been able to make it in time.
Yeah. This is all why she's so easy to love, because that's just kind of like a normal human reaction too, just a really empathetic human.
Yes. So friends and family, I mean, she's going to really connect with them, I think. I think she has an extraordinary ability to do that too, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, look how quickly she, you know, kind of adopted Ido as her father, you know. I mean, I think this is a really positive trait of hers, really. You know, that whole empathy, caring thing, I think for me is, you know, it's a really positive human part of her too, you know.
Certainly a very attractive quality as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So she is very caring. And of course, we said that she's empathetic. She can be a very loving person, you know. So, you know, that's a great quality right there. If you're looking for a friend, even if it's just somebody you want to go out to dinner with or something, you know, I mean, you know, that you can engage with like that or connect with. That's a good thing. You know,
and a lot of it is Rosa Salazar's personality as well.
Yeah, well, Rosa is Alita in my opinion. So
and Kishiro's as well, I think.
Yeah. So, you know, she's in the movie you saw, you know, a lot of people, you know, first time I saw the movie, I thought I didn't know who Rosa Salazar was. Certainly, I didn't even know the name. But you know, and of course, I saw the name on the credits afterwards. But I thought this person here I certainly thought that, you know, this was you know, there's some CGI in it, and I thought they did her eyes and all that. But I thought her face and her hair was really her. I thought that was. Is this some kind of new child actor or something? You know, it's kind of what I thought. You know. Until I looked Rosa Salazar up on IMDb and went, holy crap, this is a grown woman who looks pretty good actually, but it doesn't look like Alita, you know, except in certain shots. You see, you know,
it's got all her features. They just added them and slightly changed the proportions. It's still like all her.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And you're right. From certain angles as well, you can really see, like, it's just like her cute little nose and stuff. It all kind of matches Alita, and that's just another thing that makes it so great.
Well, that first scene when, you know, Ido is putting her together after he found her in the scrapyard, she's laying on his that operating table thing. Yeah, she's laying on that, and she's bald, you know, and that kind of stuff. But to me, you looked at her face, and that looks like Rosa Salazar right there to me. I mean, that is a perfect. You know, I said, "Oh wow," you know. But see, I didn't know who Rosa Salazar was at that point. You know, I just thought.
It was only really. It was when the film like really hit me. It's like, oh my god, this is actually a masterpiece. It was after I'd seen it once. Like, it was only like the second and third time when I'd seen interviews of Rosa Salazar, and I saw how that was all her image added onto the original character's spirit, and it all just merged like perfectly to create like the best thing ever.
Yeah. I remember saying that. Who the hell is Rosa Salazar? I remember saying that.
And then being totally impressed by her.
I've got a question for the panel members here. And I'm definitely not coming from like a, how should I put it, a controversial angle. But like, would you feel, is the word emasculated, where you feel like less of a person or less of a man, or like inadequate, I guess, is a more generic term.
Inadequate is a better way of
Or-
saying it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you just feel like you're not good enough. It happens.
What do you mean, Angelus? You mean
Yeah,
just
I'll get into that. Or
Okay.
would you feel more motivated because let's just say you're in the situation where, you know, a Mark might come after Alita for revenge, or another bounty hunter, and she'll get into a lot of fights.
Yeah.
But, you know, she can take care of herself. I mean, she's a cyborg, a hard body. And unless you're a TR yourself, and one that's like got a cyborg body as
Yeah,
like,
and
as
that's
powerful as
the
hers.
big thing. And that's the big thing. It happens like a few times in the manga. Is it's like, well, how about just get rid of the identity, because it's a liability to other people if they know who you are.
Yeah.
I mean, Chaos offered to just take all the tune to Kraken out, leave it out, which would be desertion, but I don't know.
Oh, I think for me, I would try to help her as much as I could. You know, certainly I wouldn't want to get in her way. You know, I definitely wouldn't want to do that, you know, but, you know, I think that, oh, by the way, before we get into that too much further, I wanted to, you know, go check out this one right here. That's,
Yes. And
Chaos.
the crazy part is that I've also like made a digital backup of my own voice. And that's the crazy part, is that, you know, I'm doing it carefully. I'm not going to do the actual actors' voices from the movie, because I don't want to be copyright violating. But the Chaos voice, the Destiny Nova voice, are made partially using my own voice.
Ah, okay.
I also used a little bit of Christopher Lee and Graham McTavish. So if you notice, it sounds like accented European accent. That's why.
It's really cool.
So anyway, yeah, but going back to your point there, Angelus, I think that for me, I would not feel inadequate, or I wouldn't feel like my manhood was being threatened or anything like that. You know, if you know, Alita and I, say her uncle Creek and Alita went out somewhere and she's probably, you know, 10 times stronger than I am, that wouldn't bother me, you know. I
Yeah,
mean,
because you just know that already going straight from the outset.
Yeah, that's right. You know, and if I ever, you know, I mean, I've gone out with ladies that
with her.
were pretty strong. Yeah, I'm with her. Yeah, that's right. That are pretty strong, you know, and it doesn't bother me too much. You know, it doesn't. You know, so because that's that person, and you like everything about that person. You know, and if she's stronger than you are, and this is where the understanding thing comes in: stronger, faster, better fighter.
Amen.
Stuff like that, you know, and if you really care about this person, you like them, you know, and you want to go out with them, or you want to have fun with it or something, that's part of the package, you know. So if you can't handle that, then you probably need to move on, you know, and not
go training with Figure 4.
Yeah, that's right. You know, now I will say this: Figure 4 is not on her level.
No, he's closer to it though.
And honestly, it's like, no one really is. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's right. So,
I mean, it's kind of similar with that, you know, with the fact that, you know, Chaos is like is all augmented and stuff. And I guess the girlfriend in the old manga, they killed her and they erased that ending. But yeah, another story.
Because just think about it. If you know, whether you're married to someone, or you're living with them, or you're going out with them, or whatever you're doing, there are going to be some things they can do better than you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to be better than they are at everything, and they might even be better than you are at most things. So you know, it's just life. You know, you just handle that. You know, that's where the understanding part comes in. You know, so
both of their strength and your own limitations.
Yeah, that's right. And if you come to that level of acceptance, you know, it's going to be better for both of you. You know, really.
Well, for me, I know that. I mean, while I can personally hold my own in a relatively even matchup, like I'd be almost afraid of being a liability for Alita in combat, especially since she does care for friends, family, loved ones, etc. That, you know, I don't want to be the like something that'll worry her mid combat to the point where, you know, she's got to watch out for multiple assailants, and let's face it, there's going to be multiple people going after her, or even people that might want to hurt her by hurting me, and then she'll have to put herself in a position of doing so. So,
yep, that's a good point. Yeah, because if you're a distraction, then that's going to make her more vulnerable. So you don't want that. You know, if you really care about her, you don't want that to happen. You know,
I think she'd be able to just pretend I wasn't there. No, she'd always be looking at the only thing. She'd obviously be distracted in terms of she'd want to protect me.
Yeah,
which is unavoidable, and like that's totally fine. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. But if you jumped into the fray and started punching another sideboard, you're not going to fare very well, and it's going to break her down. So
I just do what Hugo did in the bar, and just when there's one opportunity, I just jump in with my taser and just knock one out.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, I saved you, Alita.
Yeah.
But I didn't really.
And remember her line with Hugo, I'm going to need you to stand way back.
Yeah.
So that, and you want to stand way back. No problem.
But you do want to see her say, thanks, Hugo, that lovely smile every now and again.
Yeah, that's right. So
I love that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Okay, and of course this is very similar to the other one. She's giving. You know, I mean, you know, we have there's a saying down south, you know, southeastern U.S. that person will give you the shirt off their back if you need it. Well, I think that's
an old saying.
Yeah, it is. I might have aged myself right there, huh? So, but I think she would, you know, I think she would help you in any way she could, you know. And certainly, by the way, Lee, that's come across in your fanfic too, by the way, when she's dealing with Jason, you know, I get, because remember he asked her in that last chapter I read, you know, you guys are going to, you know, am I going to be, if you can't help me, are you going to kick me out in the street or something? I think that was his attitude anyway. And she kind of reinforced what Ito said, you know, no, we're not going to do anything like that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you're missing 2 legs, you've got 1 arm.
Yeah.
We're not going to just dump you in the street and abandon you.
Yeah. So anyway, I think she's like that, you know. I think she would help. I think she would help anybody in need, I think, for the most part. But I think if you're friends and family, she's going to go the second mile. And
that's always the impression I got, and that was what I was trying to convey with the story as well. So I'm kind of glad to hear that, you know, that's the impression you got from the story.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And to me, not to divert too far away, but in your story, Lee, I sense that Alita has matured a little bit too. You know?
I did go with an older, sort of more mature attitude for her towards a lot of things.
Of course, losing Hugo would kind of do that to you.
That did seem to be the case, yeah. So that's why I went in that direction. But yeah, she's got she's very giving and very, she doesn't hesitate to give to someone she cares about, especially if it looks like they could are in need in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's an all-around good person. She has her moments. Now, I've said that several times.
Yeah.
And this would be another thing about that understanding and patience thing with her, you know. So
was that a topic that we either covered last Alita Livestream or the last Chaos RK episode?
Yeah, I think we did mention that.
Well, I think that's where the understanding comes from, is understanding that her having the dark side she does is why she is such a fierce and effective warrior as she is. And understanding that also is a part of her.
Yeah. Yeah, so she, like I say, she'd give you the shirt off her back. You know, if you really were in need, I think she would do it. And you know, I think she'd do that even if she didn't know you.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, that carrying side also comes across in the Motorball arc when Ed dies and Umba is freaking out because his caretaker was Ed, and he says, "I can't survive on my own." I mean, she hugs him, just pulls him in and gives him a big hug because trying to, you know,
calm him down, or
trying to what's the word? Wow.
Show support or
console.
Trying to comfort him.
Console would be good too.
Console and comfort, yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, he's somebody she has some care about as well, and she doesn't want to see him suffer.
Yeah, and Creaky, I don't think you're right about her doing anything for anyone. If she saw someone was a bad person, probably wouldn't.
Yeah, I didn't mean bad person.
Because she's got a really good sense moral. She seems to have a really a good balance of morals. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I don't think I wasn't meaning that she would help an evil person. You know, I mean, if somebody was injured and they were not evil, they were not a criminal or something like that, I think, you know, if she didn't know you, you know, she would try to help you. I think
definitely.
Yeah, I
she'd
think
be the best Samaritan.
Yes.
Cyborg Samaritan, Alita.
Yeah, cyborg Samaritan. Yes. Matter of fact, I don't want to do too many spoilers on Lee's story, but there's a portion, one story where this Jason Deschain is thinking to himself. He says, "Well, I've always tried to be a good Christian, you know." And then I think he kind of wonders, you know, if Alita or Ito are Christians or whatever they are, what their spirituality is.
Yeah.
So anyway, we know our girls. We know that she will help you if you know. Now, even if you're evil, I don't think she would just help you. You know, but I do think even if you're evil, and she did like with Zapan, where she cut Zapan's face off, she did kind of connect with him there a little bit. She had a look on.
I don't know. I kind of got the impression she found him to be a bit pathetic because he was so concerned with his face.
Yeah.
It's like with everything else happening.
I'd say.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
But it did seem that she found him to be rather pathetic with his
Well, you know, it's like she
vanity.
said before, you know, she said, what could I learn from a loudmouth pretty boy that spends all of his money on his face?
Yeah, and plus she'd know that he can. I know that he's probably going to come back scarred and stuff, but surely if he had enough money, he could pay to have it fixed up to you anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not like she's actually cut off a human being's face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
there's a scene in the where in the novelization where Zapan is chasing Hugo, where he actually stops at this one clinic and gets his cheekbones raised a little bit more. So it's ridiculous, you know.
Yeah, there was also a scene in the novelization where he gets his teeth redone.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, he's always concerned about how he looks, and you know.
And novelization is so good. I've been reading segments of it recently.
I mean, he was so wrapped up in his identity of his face that it just couldn't handle having it damaged the way it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Oh, this is a no-brainer, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you had all those qualities and you were a friend and that stuff, yeah, you would have fun. The two of you would have fun. There's no doubt about that. You know, as long as you didn't try to compete with her to a fault, you know, because I mean that's not going to work. But I think Alita would be fun if you went out with her. You know, I think she would. I think you'd laugh a lot, you know.
And she takes every day by like the scruff of the neck, and you know what I mean. There wouldn't be a wasted day with Alita.
Yeah, I don't think so either. You know, she'd be a lot of fun if she's a real person. You know, it'd be a lot of fun. You know,
I just need her in real life. She'd sort me out.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't want to piss her off though.
Exactly. She'll force me to like make the changes you need in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that happens sometimes in relationships, even without cyborgs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you can see her there on the back of Hugo's, cycle. She's really, and that whole little scene there where she's riding on the back of that cycle and laughing and stuff like that. She is really enjoying that.
Yeah.
She had a lot of fun at that motorball, match that you see on the right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think Alita is afraid to laugh. Now, once again, not to spoil Lee's story too much, but in Lee's story, you get the impression that she doesn't laugh that much at that point. But when she's talking to Jason in one of the chapters, they both are telling each other about themselves, and they both kind of laugh, and Ito comes in and looks at him like, "What the hell's going on here?" Stuff like that, because they were laughing, So
well, there's a quote. And it's told, "Hey, remember, be happy sometimes."
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, well, she's a human, so I mean, she wants to have fun.
Oh, she seems rather adventurous, willing to try new things, dancing, whatever, So she's willing to, go out and just do whatever to have fun, as long as it's not hurting people.
Yeah, and we saw her in the early parts of the movie go through one new different stimulation after another. She's she clearly loves it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing was a certain character gets found just because she wanted to see this person that Kuomu was looking for.
Which person was this, Chaos?
Chaos, because Koyama keeps listening to the radio and he's like,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But I'm just saying the intention was just like regular kids would be doing.
Yeah. Well, she is a teenager, so mentally she's a teenager.
It was more like kind of watching Koyama, even though Koyama didn't want to be watched.
Yeah.
Koyama was the teen there.
Yeah. Yeah, so I did a video some time ago that called Girls Just Want to Have Fun. It was that Cyndi Lauper song I put to this of all her doing those things like Lottie was bringing up at the first of the movie and her riding on the back of that cycle with Hugo and all that, Of course, I'm starting to take some of that stuff down now because I got rejected on my application for monetization.
It happened to me twice. It took the third time. It took the third time to work, and that was when I eventually just started making how-to things. So I think that's what they wanted.
Well, I think
these streams, I don't think they're a copyright violation, are they?
No, they're not. No, I don't.
So put them on the top of your homepage, like the first playlist be that, and work on.
Well, the videos is the first. And then the popular videos is a second, and then the streams a third.
Right.
So,
move the stream to the top because that's stuff that doesn't really break copyright.
Yeah, that's right. But now early on when Angelus and I first started doing this, I did have some copyright stuff on there, but I deleted those streams. So they're not on my they're not on my YouTube channel anymore. So so anyway, but. Girls just want to have fun, and that's Alita. She's a girl. She wants to have fun, young lady. She wants to have fun, So, okay. And this is a no-brainer, isn't it? It's kind of, we were talking about this a while ago. If
very protective.
Well, if
you
somebody
couldn't ask for a better girlfriend in that department.
Oh yeah, that's right. If somebody tried to pick a fight with you in a bar and you were with her, that'd pity them. You wouldn't have to do anything. She would set them straight pretty fast, I think. Even a big old hulking football player type, or a wrestler or something like that, they would be no match for her. Because
but the weakness is that she electronic warfare would be pretty effective against her. That's
maybe.
Yeah, but
it was in the manga. I mean, you can remotely shut her down or disable her. Dusty Nova did it a lot. Toon did it a lot.
Do EMPs disable her?
Well, no, they had that button.
Well, but she could be vulnerable because the thing about EMP is when you have an antenna and receive signals externally, that antenna is a backdoor for the impulse to give you a power surge on the inside.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, not only that, Chaos. Remember when Lou Collins started becoming her operator? Remember she noticed that button, you know, because she had kind of like one of those shock systems, kind of like a dog collar, you know.
Right.
She noticed that button was almost worn out because her previous operator, I guess, was just shocking her all the time. You know, it might have been Bigot Eisenberg, maybe, but
I think it was Bigot Eisenberg.
Yeah, and you can imagine if he almost wore that button out, how many times he shocked Alita. You know,
right?
Because he didn't like what she was doing.
Oh, it didn't just shock her, but I believe it was Volume 6. He just totally shut off her motor function, so she just couldn't move at all. She just laid down.
Yeah. But see, you wouldn't have to worry about that in a bar or a restaurant, though.
No.
Nobody's going to have electronic warfare in a bar.
No.
You know?
But it can be shut down at the wrong time that you don't want it to happen.
Yeah, that's true. But if you were in a bar with her, say you just went there to, you know, for dinner, or not dinner, but, you know, drinks and maybe dance or something like that, and some big guy didn't like the fact that, you know, that you were with this cute girl, you know.
Yeah.
He was going to kind of try to muscle you out. All you would have to do is, like Hugo said, I'm with her.
Just hope someone doesn't get thrown. You don't get hit by something. I mean, I guess either one of those Badlands guys would survive it, but it wouldn't be fun.
No.
I mean, one of these guys got a taxi cab ran over his body. Then Kiyomi said, "This guy's got really hurt." The guy says, "No, he's not. I don't see any injuries on him." So yeah, it hurts, but you wouldn't die. Just because you live doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah, that's right. There's a saying I guess in one of the old westerns. I think it was one of the. Which one was it?
Was it a Clint Eastwood one? Like,
no, it wasn't no, it wasn't that one. It was. Oh gosh, what the heck was that? It had Yul Brynner in it. That's a really old actor.
Magnificent Seven.
Magnificent Seven, the sequel. There was this one guy was having a trouble with one of the guys that the lead character had recruited to be one of the 7 gunfighters to go take care of this Mexican band, banditos, you know. And he was having a problem with this guy, you know, and the guy goes off, and this one friend says, "I really can't stand that guy. Is he really faster than you?" And Yul Brynner says, "Well, I'll put it to you like this. I'd hate to have to live on the difference." So, yeah, in this case, you know, if a guy like that could survive a punch from Alita, he ain't going to be in the same shape that he was being before she punched him, you know. So, you know, he's gonna have broken bones or something, you know.
Yeah, there's surviving something like that, and then there's taking the hit and shrugging it off.
Yeah, that's right. So, but like say, if she likes you, you're a friend, you know, and she's out, you know, on a date with you, and somebody tries to pull some crap, you know, then she, you know, you wouldn't have to worry about anything. She'd take care of it for you, you know. And this would be one of those things too. This would be another part of the acceptance thing, is that, you know, how it is if you're a guy now, you know, it's been many years since I've been a young buck getting in fights in a bar, but, but I would say if somebody tried to come up and muscle you a little bit, and, you know, you took some umbrage at it and you're going to take care of this guy, one of the things you'd have to realize is that you're better off not messing with the guy, and if push come to shove, she can handle it without you getting involved. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things you'd have to accept, I think. Okay. Yeah, this is something to be great. If she could,
this is why I need Alita. She'll whip me into shape.
Didn't you tell me one day that you wanted to have some kind of workout over the internet or something? You wanted to do, I think
Alita, yeah, you need to lead Alita Army lifting group.
Well, I'm not a personal trainer, I can tell you that. But,
Alita Army workout videos.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe we could do a video.
We could all do it in Alita cosplay.
Yeah, I could dress up like Figure 4, I guess.
Exactly.
But Alita would be great to work out with, because I mean, God,
she might get bored whilst we're like sweating about to die.
Well, I think though, the fact that she has so much empathy and she's caring so much, okay, she may get a little bit bored, but I don't think she would, I don't think she would just abandon you or, kind of do anything like that, the next time she might say, can we not lift weights today? Something like that, But she would be great. She'd be great to have someone. If you need to do bench press like that, she'd be great for her to spot you, because anything that, like that's the creek there on the right, anything I can bench press, she can easily hold up without any trouble. So I wouldn't have to worry about that weight coming down on my chest, so. But she would be a great workout buddy, I think. I think she really would. Because she's super strong, and if it's something like going on a run with her, let's say, some years ago I had a friend that after work we would go running, and we did this every day.
Creaky doing cardio? What?
So, but no, we would basically go running, and then we'd go to dinner afterwards, But Alita would be good at something like that too. Now you have to remember that she could she could run a lot longer than you can and faster. So whatever your speed is, she's going to have to kind of, sync her speed to yours, and that might be another thing where she might get bored maybe. But if she really is wanting to just, pal around with you or something, I don't think she would get too bored, especially if you're going to give her chocolate afterwards. So anyway, what do you guys think about this? Angelus, you would love to maybe try to spar with her, wouldn't you? As long as she had the understanding not to break your arm, right?
Yeah, she'll always have to keep herself in check.
Yeah.
But she should just do that naturally anyway, because she's so powerful.
Yeah, I think she has enough sense to be able to do something like that. She knows
exactly. She'd just do that anyway.
Yeah. Angelus, you would like to spar with her, I bet, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah.
And then prepare to know that you're going to get your butt whipped, but because she's going to have a speed and strength advantage. But if you made it kind of fun, doing that, I don't know if you guys. I know Angelus is.
I don't know. Do it on the pontoons in a pool, so you fall in the water if she knocks you out.
Well, she can probably do that better than you can too.
But at least losing is fun.
Yeah.
Put her mind is getting hotter, so falling in the water would be a relief.
Well, Angelus could probably tell you this, but if you're sparring with somebody like, if you're doing martial arts and you're both really, equal ability or something like that, and you're really doing the techniques as effectively as you can, it is a very fun thing, isn't it, Angelus? It's almost to the point to where for me it was delicious. It was like a discipline thing, and it was to me it was really satisfying to be able to do that. Now with her, she's going to block anything you can throw at her, but whether it's a kick, a punch, or whatever, but if you could make it a playful thing like that, then
a play fight.
Or sparring. That's what sparring is.
Exactly.
No, I'm not her. Would I be her I think he means Padawan there. I think
Padawan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Finn's back. I thought Finn had gone.
Yeah, I
drops in from time to time.
Yeah, she can teach me a thing or two. I can't teach her anything. So yeah, I guess in that regard, I guess I would be like her Padawan, wouldn't I? So because she certainly can fight better than I can, and she's stronger than I am, and she can run faster than I can. So there you have it. Plus I don't have an inherent plasma weapon either, so that's
excuses.
That's right. So anyway, what do you guys think? Would you like to work out with her? Any of you, or do any of you do?
Definitely, should be the perfect workout buddy.
What was that? Somebody was saying something.
I said, sure, why not?
Do you work out, Chaos? Do you do any kind of weightlifting?
I'm not doing as what I used to do. I'm not doing like I used to, but I try.
Yeah, well, that's good, as long as you do it. You know.
I'll be honest. I took the weight class in college because I knew it would be an easy class to ace.
Oh, okay.
But I did. They had a nice Arizona State has a nice indoor track they circle too. If you want to run around that thing.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know if you watch this YouTube channel or not, Chaos, but you know, there's a couple of ASU softball players, girls. You know, I've been following them because I watched this. I watched this one YouTube channel called Momentum, and what it is these guys are doing baseball related stuff, you know, and they also bring softball into it, you know, where they have like a fast pitch softball player come in. They had one of the most famous fast pitch.
Oh, trust me. In school, we did all sorts of crazy stuff. We even did like we did this weird kind of water polo thing where we were on like rafts. Yeah, water polo, but we improvised it further. Where we were on rafts, throwing volleyballs to each other and paddling around. It was goofy and stupid, but it was fun.
Boy, that might be something Alita would like to try. Water polo.
I don't think she can, though.
Well,
we can add buoyancy.
But she went
add a lot of buoyancy.
Well, I mean,
I mean, plastic, titanium, and iron. How does that work? There's got to be some way to do that, even with.
Well, she would sink to the bottom if it was a deep pool, but if it wasn't deep, you know.
I mean, she has a finite amount of weight that there could eventually be some kind of flotation device that would hold her up. It's just a question of how much.
Yeah, well, a water polo body. A body that's lightweight, meant for buoyancy specifically.
I mean, I've done some scuba diving stuff, but your wetsuit does have a lot more buoyancy than you might think.
Well, there you see.
I mean, the tank is heavy, but you know, you have weights on you to balance out your buoyancy because there's a certain amount that you actually float.
Oh yeah, but it's not 300 pounds of military hardware.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Well, there she is in Uncle Creek's gym. So KranberriJam did both of these. Man, Kran does some great stuff. I've got a lot of her artwork hanging up everywhere.
So I'm on a date with Alita. I do not want to go to Uncle Creek's gym. Sorry, Creaky.
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. Understood. What would she say though? Is, I want to go have a beer at Uncle Creek's bar. What are you going to do, Vlad? You say no.
I'll strongly suggest another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that.
Unless they're free there, then I'll be like, okay, fine.
Yeah, and as I think we said a while ago, that she would be fun just to hang out with, wouldn't she? Now, you know, certainly, you know, she's just hanging out there, but you see, she's not smiling. That's because she's not pleased that I didn't have any chocolate milk. So, so you know, or a Black Russian or something like that. You know, I don't know if cyborgs should drink alcohol or not.
Well, actually, according to, go ahead.
I mean, they drink and they do the regular digestion, but their brain could get drunk if they have enough.
Yeah.
Well, the thing of it is,
well, I was going to say one of the background things that was the same one that what's his name? Ed
Screen.
Yeah, who played?
Well, there's also Ed, the motorball tuner, and
well, I was talking about Ed Skrein, the actor. Who did,
he did the Alita's World special features.
Yeah, one of the things he mentioned.
Need to eat and use the restroom.
Yeah, one of the things he mentioned is that they can get drunk, depending on their filtration system. I think.
Yeah. Well, the thing of it is, you know, when
even in the manga, though, I mean, cyborgs had problems with drugs because that's what Ed's problem. What Ed's problem was is the motorball tuner because his body goes into kind of like seizures or twitching episodes because of his withdrawal from the drugs he was using during motorball.
Yeah. Well, think of this too: is that when we drink alcohol, you know, pretty much our entire body to some degree is going to absorb it. But in her case, the only organic part of her is her brain.
Yeah.
So it's going to
Well,
be
you'd
more
need
constant.
you'd need a safeguard that's going to prevent death by alcohol poisoning. So you'd have to have a really good filtration system and probably some kind of, artificial equivalent of a liver to keep the brain protected from high levels of intoxication.
Right. Or you just be extra careful.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about what they would have made with the Berserker body, how they would have had it like that.
Well, they probably had it set up to where she could, absorb foodstuffs and, liquid to drink and stuff like that. So certainly you would think that they would have enough foresight to say, okay, we got to set up something in her system that will protect her from overdosing on alcohol.
Yeah, I would think a good digestive system with all the, bells and whistles that come with it to help run like long-term missions if you're behind enemy lines or having to scrounge for supplies and what have you.
Yeah, that's right. By the way, I want to go back to what Finn said a while ago. Finn, Creaky is Alita's uncle, but Creaky's also Alita's Padawan. So, so yeah, but Alita would be fun to hang out with, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It should be a laugh.
Well, the thing of it is, like, one of the things that in Lee, I'm not going to give you the whole thing because I'm going to be spoiling Lee's fan story here, but in that last chapter I read, Alita and Jason are just sitting there talking to each other, and she says, well, tell me about your experience in the military, and he says, you really want to hear about this? And she kind of, yeah, I do, and then eventually then he said, I think I got the order mixed up. I think first he says, well, tell me about Motorball, about what you do and stuff like that. And she says, do you really want to hear about Motorball? And he said, well, if I'm in the presence of a Motorball champion, I may as well get some knowledge about it, or something like that. And I want to.
Well, basically, it was because he was basically on suicide watch after what happened. He felt the need to, do something more than just be a lump. So he decided to ask her about one of the things that she was obviously interested in, which is, Motorball.
Yeah. And
she was a little dubious about him wanting to learn about it because she knows that he doesn't really care for it.
Yeah.
But they got to talking, and she ends up asking him about his military service, despite not believing that he was actually from that far in the past. But she wanted to hear. She basically wanted to gauge his reactions while talking about it. Like, did it seem real to him?
Whether or not it was a delusion too, in her
so she was curious to see how he would react while retelling a story about some of his military career.
And that
one of the things go ahead.
Yeah, one of the things too about that is they both laughed about that one story he told her.
Well, I tested that story with some friends too. That was that story that really happened to my supervisor in the Air Force. And I told it to my girlfriend, she got a big laugh out of it. I told some other friends, they got big laughs out of it.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was hilarious.
Okay.
I thought it was hilarious. Yeah. But no, what I was going to say though is that it wasn't just she was doing this like esoterically with him. She really got into his story and they were laughing about it. And Ito came in there and he has, it's like he said, wow, remember Jason said, wow, the look on Ito's face is like he hasn't seen Alita laugh for quite a while or something.
Like there hadn't been a lot of laugh around the clinic.
Yeah, that's right.
So he seemed a little surprised that the two of them were laughing together.
Yeah. But you can see there Alita's quite comfortable with Creek's bar.
So she's just not pleased with the lack of chocolate.
That's right. Creek has got to do a better job next time.
Yes.
So yeah, she would be it'd be a lot of fun to hang out with, I think. If she's a real person. Now granted, we're just here. This is conjecture on our part. This is a fictitious character, and if she was real, she'd be in the future 500 years.
Yeah.
But, it looks to me like she's ready to ditch Creaky's bar and hop on my gyro bike.
Well, I'm only your uncle, so I can't stop her.
There may be some biases at work as well.
You couldn't if you tried.
Well, that's right. I couldn't stop her from doing anything, really.
Yeah. Nobody could.
If she wanted to drink all that alcohol you see back up there in that shelf there's nothing I could do to stop her. So, yeah. here's something you'd have to deal with, and this would be where the understanding and patience thing would be come into play.
She will do her own thing when she wants to, and you ain't going to say nothing much about it.
She can be extremely unpredictable. You know, I mean, that's something you better be prepared for too. I think, you know, you know, because I think if you can't handle this, then you know, you need to move on, I think. So, any thoughts about this one, guys?
Not really.
This kind of goes close to that.
Oh yeah,
she's got a temper, you know. Yeah, that's another understanding and flexibility.
Yeah, this is my biggest concern. Her getting pissed off with me.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think Alita is such an understanding and caring person that if you did something to piss her
when
off,
she gets really pissed off, if you've done something like 1,000,000 times and then she's told you off loads of times, she'll snap eventually.
Well, I think in her case,
everyone loses patience with me eventually.
And she is not the one you want doing that.
You sound like some of my ex-wives thinking about me there, buddy. So anyway, but yeah, she does have a temper. But I think in her case, though, seriously, I mean, if she was not a fictional character, you know, if you did something that really pissed her off and you were sorry you did it and you apologized, I think she would be okay with that.
I don't think she would actually hurt you unless you were a serious, real threat in some fashion to either herself or to someone else she cared about. Yeah. I think she's willing to, you know, at worst, maybe chew you out or something like that. I don't think she's ever going to raise a hand against you.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Definitely.
She might get, well, if you piss her off 4 or 5 times in a row, she might give you a slap. You know, she might do that.
Yeah,
she might.
Like, you know, she'll obviously never rip your arm off, but we're just sort of joking about that because it's like.
Yeah, I don't think she'd do that.
She could do that, but obviously we know that she's really.
She's absolutely could do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you see that thing on the right there. She actually ripped that off of a cyborg. Of course, we all know that because we've seen the movie a billion times. And then rammed it into that guy's throat. You know, I mean, yeah, you know, and that's a cyborg she's taken down that's twice her size. So she ain't gonna have any trouble with a meat boy, that's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think she's a very forgiving person, though. Now, she does have a temper, like say, you know. So if you do something to piss her off, you better be ready to, you know, be contrite, you know, and say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that, you know, or something like that, you know. Yeah. But I think I kind of agree with Lee. I think she wouldn't do anything to harm you physically, but she might give you a good chewing out, you know, if you if you piss her off too much, you know.
Well, it depends. If she knows how tough you are, she'll hit you harder.
Well, that's true. Yeah, kind of like Figure 4, you know. But then
she'll probably physically deal with you as hard as she thinks you can take it, or you've shown yourself to be able to take it in the past.
And then if you keep getting up, then she'll respect you. So, so yeah. But yeah, she had no trouble with that cyborg on the right, so she wouldn't have any trouble with any of us, I think. I mean, you know, that's for sure. And of course, we know that she is kind of sensitive, you know. Of course, this shot, right? This shot always tears me up when I see it in the movie, you know. But there's 2 or 3 scenes that tear me up with her, you know. But you know, this is after, of course, she's remembering Hugo, you know, type thing. But,
well, I think it's fair enough to say that she does, you know, have a degree of regret with things, and because there's one part where Chaos says like, kill him, and it's like, do you feel even the least bit bad that you're asking to kill your own father? And it's like, I've got to do it. He's dangerous to everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, she tends to wear her heart on her sleeve from what I've seen.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. But, you know, in this particular case, she's able to turn on a dime, because you remember this is just before she slices that teardrop into 2, you know, and she's ready to go out and kick some butt on the motorball track.
Yep.
So, but she is very sensitive too, I think, which would mean that she would be sensitive if you hurt her feelings or something like that. that wouldn't be good for you. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
like when
mean
she
physically.
realized Hugo was lying to her, she looked so like, can't believe you do this to me.
Yeah, she had a very betrayed look on her face.
Well,
Exactly,
she put a crater in the wall or in the
in the street in the
sidewalk.
movie.
Yeah.
But it was
it
was in the wall of that warehouse they were hiding in the manga.
Yeah, and it was also in the wall in the novelization too. She punched a hole into the wall.
Yeah, the scene was changed.
So really close to his head, but yeah, you get the point.
Yep.
Yeah, Finn, Battle Angel Creaky. Yeah. Well, I am her Padawan, so there you have it, and her uncle. So, oh boy, that's fun to have that kind of little thing going. So, and here's one for Angelus. Yep. She's got that cuteness thing going. And I think Vladi mentioned that picture on the right. You know, it said, "Thank you, Hugo." I mean, that was so sweet, wasn't it? Even if she got through kicking that guy's
in
butt.
the middle of the fun fight, it was lovely.
Yeah, she was kicking butt and just long enough to say, "Thank you, Hugo." It was really hilarious. But yeah, you know, and this might be one of those cases where if you took her to say, you know, a club or something like that, and you know she was your date and guys started hitting on her, you know, I mean, there you'd have it. You know, they'd be hitting on her because she looks like that, but no, fellas, she's with me. So, you know, but yeah, she definitely is cute. There's no doubt about it. And this is, I thought, the way Rosa Salazar actually looked, except for the eyes, obviously. I knew she didn't have eyes like that, but, you know, I thought, wow, who is this person, you know? So, and the hair, too, is what got me. You know, the hair, I thought that was real hair.
Yeah. No, I did, too, yeah.
Until Maxie told me about it like a year later, something like that. I said, what? That's not real hair? So what do you think, Angelus? I put this slide in here just for you.
Sorry, I'm getting distracted.
Yeah. Now, the one on the right, of course, she's what, 14, 15 years old. The one on the left, she's probably 19, I guess, something like that.
Around 18.
At least, yeah, 18 maybe, yeah. You know, I mean, in terms of maturity.
I don't know why you keep saying that. Her age doesn't really change.
Well, you're right, Vladi. Actually, she's 300 and something years old. So it's kind of like that. There's a scene in Justice League, I guess, where, you know, the Flash asks Cyborg, he says, do you think Wonder Woman could go for a younger guy like me? And Cyborg looks at her and says, every male on this planet is younger than her. So, you know, so yeah, she's mentally and emotionally, she's a teenager. So, you know, but yeah, she's over 300 years old. So, you know, really cute though. That's for sure. So is that all, Angelus? Is that all you got to say, or are you still just distracted?
I'm always distracted by Alita, but I mean, she can use that in like, I mean, she can pull off using it in an offensive manner, or, you know, she can use that as a, you know, when she smiles at Hugo, for example, and hopefully in future sequels, Figure 4, but yeah, so she can use that offensively in a fight. I mean, if she really chooses to, and then, you know, seconds later she'll be bashing your face in, but.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, I've said this on streams. You're an enemy. You might fall in love with her just before you die.
Or she can use it in a way to show affection, and like whether it's like through the look, the eyes, the smile, and I think that's what makes excuse me. I think that's what makes her so like appealing worldwide, is because, you know, there's something for everyone, if you, in a manner of speaking. You know, some people might love her eyes, her smile. Just, you know, some people might go for brunettes. I think it might have even been Vladi or someone in the photo editing thing where like she's a blonde and it doesn't matter what hair color she has or whatever she's wearing, she just got that ooh factor always.
Yes, she does. All right, date night. And I've got like 6 things, and then we can talk about something later. But certainly go to a sporting event. That could even include not just sporting events, but it could be like a concert or something like that. Do you think she would like music?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I think she would
She
because
sings in the manga.
Yeah, she does. So I mean, I think she could go to a concert and like it, And of course, you can play sports. So she's playing street motorball, but I mean, I think we talked before that she might enjoy a lot of other stuff. Like she might enjoy like what Chaos was saying a while ago, bocce ball. She might enjoy that. You don't know. She might get into powerlifting. You just don't know. I mean, she would destroy everybody on the planet in powerlifting, but she might enjoy doing it. And then, of course, a day trip, just going out in the country with her just for, kind of like a, picnic or a hike or something like that. I think she'd be great, on something like that. Or you can go to the beach, and of course, dinner and a movie, I mean, something like that. I think she'd be fun to do that, have that kind of activity with, So, but is there anything else, guys? Is there any other kind of activity you can think of? I got like 6 of them listed there. And of course that playing sports, you could include as a thing to do together in terms of, like going to a concert or something like that, So anybody got any thoughts?
Well, I just know that she'd be like enthusiastic about basically any activity.
She'd probably prefer physical activities, but yeah.
I think probably would prefer that, but I think she would get into anything. She would, for one thing, since she was asleep for 300 years, then, I think anything would be like a new experience for her almost because she's forgotten everything,
Yeah. Yeah, anything where she gets to spend time with somebody she really cares about, she'd probably, easily go for, but she might prefer something a little more active.
Old Finn here had a pretty deep thought here. He would like to, he said he could go and come back to Alita Army. Yeah, you can always do that, certainly, but some of the old Alita Army types, I think he would like to see them come back, We won't name them here. We got several of them, I guess, but Alita Avocado. I remember something about that, Finn. What was that? I forget now. What was that? I forget. You'll have to put it down in the chat there. But it was something we had a big laugh about, I think. Now I know. I think Lee, you got a girlfriend, and I think Chaos. I think you're married, but if you guys were single, if you were going to take Alita out, say Lee. You didn't have your girlfriend. You were, this is all hypothetical.
Yes, I know.
We don't want to start any shit here.
Oh, okay.
But if you were going to take her on a date, where would you want to take her, you think?
I would probably go maybe on a day trip, possibly a sporting event. Those two really kind of sort of jump out.
You mean like a Rockies game or something like that?
Some kind of a game, something that we could enjoy together. Day trip, maybe just a trip to the wilderness, enjoying nature, scenery, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd probably take her on like a nice countryside walk in the summer, and because it's not summer. Because obviously I can never compete with her in like a physical activity, so I probably wouldn't
playing sports unless we're on the same team. I don't see that really working.
Yeah, exactly.
As well.
So a nice leisurely walk in the countryside, and because that's always a good way of. It always gets people like talking and relaxed in each other's company. I think that'll be beautiful with Alita, and she'd be like, looking at all the butterflies, or maybe she'd be petrified of the butterflies, but I don't know.
Well, you just make sure it's not one specific kind of
Yeah,
butterfly.
One
right?
specific kind of butterfly, yeah.
Or that
Mhm.
evil eye butterfly thing or whatever
Yeah.
it was. Then she shot the whole side of a building out trying to shoot it.
Yeah. But yeah, you take a hike, maybe you even see some deer or other wildlife, cute fuzzy animals. That...
Yeah,
She'd
she'd
probably-
love that.
You know what she might like, Lee? She might like the Dunes National Park, down there in, oh God, where is that place? That's down in South Colorado, I think.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, she might
Garden
like
of the
it.
Gods, maybe too.
Or Garden of the Gods. Yeah, that's for you guys that don't know what that is. In Colorado Springs, there's a kind of rock formations that are like they look like red clay except it's rock, and you can see it sticking.
Are they made by aliens?
No,
No.
no, buddy.
No, that's boring.
No, but they're pretty cool though, and they have a real nice restaurant up above it, and you can sit and look at this through this big window, and it's just really stunning with Rocky Mountains in the background. It's really
Yeah, it's
really
like a little
nice.
natural park type thing.
Yeah, it is. And then they got gift shop there, and you could go in there and get her a little something. Who knows? So Lee and Vladi seem to go for the day trip thing for the most part. Angelus, what would you, if you were going to take Alita out for a date, what would you do?
Oh wait, mic's muted. Unless it's something that we both really liked and enjoyed, I don't think a movie, well, at least not for a first date anyway. Sporting event, that's obviously, and this goes for any sort of dating event. If we support the same team, or we like playing the same sport sort of thing, then maybe that.
You know what would be neat about a sporting event? Like, let's say, you took her to a Rockies game. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Colorado Rockies, that's a baseball team. It's a major league baseball team. And you could take her to that game, and, you would be what would be fun would be explaining to her what baseball, about baseball, It'd be like if you were going to do this, you would probably take her to probably a Cleveland Indians game, or Cleveland Guardians game, wouldn't you? Or something. If you're going to take them to see baseball, take her to see baseball anyway. But explaining the game to her, where you could both get into it like that, would be kind of a nice thing to do, I think.
I
That's
have
another
another
thing.
date idea. I'd love to go snorkeling with her, or maybe scuba diving. I think she would.
You do
She'd
that?
love looking at all the fish.
Yeah. Do you do that, Vladi? Is that something?
I do. I am scuba certified. Paddy
Nice.
certified is the word. But that
Nice.
was when I was 16, 17. And I've been once in the last decade.
Well, yeah, but you still know the ropes.
Yeah, but vaguely, yeah.
Well, it's still something you can, I guess you
Exactly,
probably get
yeah.
refreshed, get recertified again, and go out.
Yeah, I need to do a
and
proper refresher course, because I did one and I was breathing too much, so I had to come up a bit early on the dive, sadly. This was one I did a few years back after having a 10-year break.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to worry about her on that, would you? Because remember, there's that scene when she goes to the ship. She, remember that. I guess Hugo asked, "How long do you think she can hold her breath?"
Yeah,
well, a long time.
Yeah, she could just walk down to the shipwreck whilst I'm scuba diving around it.
Yeah. Cool.
That'll be amazing, actually.
Yeah.
Well, Chaos
But
viewers.
with the,
oh, go ahead, Angelus.
I was gonna finish up with the sporting thing. I wouldn't exactly, I guess, well, there's no way we'd be able to compete against her. But having her hold the mitts, for example, those who train together, stay together, sort of thing.
Yep.
Also, obviously she'll have probably even more control than flesh body sort of thing. But even and Creaky, you're probably the only one that could sort of relate. Whenever you're holding the pads for someone that's fairly strong, or it's got a good impact, you know, your arms get tired pretty quickly.
Yeah, they do.
And
your hands and your arms.
you still get a good
has
enough workout,
effect.
whether you're giving or receiving. So
yeah, your hands and your arms actually. Yeah.
So
another thing
that'll be a good thing to do together as well.
But to your point too, Angela, so let's say you were going to do the, something karate oriented like that. You could teach her a kata, like for instance, if I was going to work out with her with karate, which I haven't really worked out in karate for many years, but let's say I did, I would teach her one of my Kenpo karate kata
forms,
or form, we didn't call them kata, we just call them dances, but they're forms. You're right. And
hate to interrupt, but I'm afraid I've got to get going.
Oh, okay, Lee, sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, my
Thank
girlfriend
you.
just called me.
I was going to give it 2 hours.
Yeah, well, we're going to wrap it up here pretty quick. So, all right,
so why we're talking so much about Panzerkunst? It's date night. Perhaps you're talking about Panzerkunst.
Well, what I mean is that, if you were going to do some kind of physical activity like that together, you could show her a form.
We're talking about date night. There's only one physical activity on the agenda.
Says day, not date night or day. So it could be day. But what I'm saying is you could teach her one of your forms and she could teach you some Panzerkunst, Not that you would be able to do it as effectively as her because it's made for cyborgs. But anyway.
Yeah. Isn't it like low gravity combat? I'm not sure how much I'm going to get out of using low gravity combat personally.
Yeah. You're not you're not going to get a whole lot out of that, Now, of course,
we won't be spending too much time learning
date night.
It might transition into something else. We'll start like play fighting, and then things will get really things might get a bit intense.
Well, you know what? I have an experience to relate for you to that one. I had a girlfriend many years ago that she was a brown belt in. I think it was Taekwondo, and I was a black belt in Kenpo. And we would move the furniture out of her in her apartment, and we'd
where's this going?
Moving around, and she would try to hit me, and I wouldn't let her, and I kept do stuff like I'd push her on the thing. She'd get real mad, and start throwing her punches and kicks full power.
Yeah,
it's funny, So anyway, it could get to that point, but with Alita, if she got really frustrated like that, you'd be in big trouble, because. She's many times better than you are than that, not that you could ever block anything that she would throw at you, but
Exactly. There's just no point.
But if you were doing it for fun though, but if it was just for fun,
it would just be for fun.
Yeah, it wouldn't be you wouldn't be like competing in a tournament against her or anything like that.
Obviously, yeah.
I mean, even if you played some kind of sport where she beat you like a drum, like she beat you like in tennis, let's say, if she played tennis, if she was good at it, she'd beat you and you wouldn't win a game, but you'd still have fun. You'd be hitting the ball back and forth. I mean, you don't have to win. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know. Being beaten by Alita sounds quite appealing.
Well, okay, we're not gonna let it devolve any further than that.
Well, no. I'll take it further. I'll take it further in the context that you said you wouldn't mind getting beaten by Alita. Well,
yeah.
Let's ask an expert, Tanji.
He's no longer with us. He's no longer with us, Angeles.
Well, no, he's talking about street motorball, I think. So
yeah, taking an elbow to the face.
Well, not that Creek would ever date Alita because she is his niece. But if I was going to do anything like this with her, I would do something like weightlifting. Yeah, she would lift tons more weight than me, but I think it would be fun just to see how much
could she actually lift.
Well, I think I did a calculation one time, or I did a video.
What's your maximum, just so I can have some context?
300.
Bench press, you mean?
Whatever you're going to tell me Alita's maximum is.
Well, my maximum bench press is 345 pounds. I don't know what that is in kilograms. Probably
345 pounds. And what's Alita's?
Well, I would say Alita's is probably like 3,200 pounds, something like that.
So like 10 times yours.
I think 345 pounds is like 150 kilos plus.
Yeah. It's let me now,
maybe even
now
160. So
yeah, I gotta figure that out now, you guys. I gotta see what
we've got him.
Yeah, 156 kilograms. So,
oh, I was close.
Yeah, so and deadlift. My max is 353, so it's about 160 almost, maybe 158 kilograms. My squat's not that good, but like 235 pounds or something like that. So my squat's that's my weakest, that's my worst event, But Alita, I remember we did a stream a couple of years ago where we calculated that I think Alita, it was based on a couple of things, including the video that I'd done, where I estimated that she could curl 800 pounds, which is see the creek can curl with one arm. If I use a easy curl bar, I could curl 100 and something pounds pretty easily, or fairly easy. It's going to be hard, but for her, she could curl 800 pounds and not even break a sweat. She could just curl it, and she could probably squat something like who knows, I don't know, probably squat with no trouble. She could squat 1,000 pounds, I think, without any trouble, and she could probably
and she do that all looking 99 times better than you.
Yes, but see, what would be fun for me, it's not that I'd want to try to beat her, but what would be fun for me was see how much she could do, that would be fun. Now the problem we would have is that I wouldn't be able to spot her. If she was going to bench press 3,000 pounds, then I can't spot her. You got to have somebody that can, like I have a friend of mine that he bench pressed 605 pounds one time. It took me and 3 other guys to spot him.
Why would she need a spotter? She could handle herself.
Well, if it's near her max, you see, just in case something went wrong, like one of her systems got a glitch in it or something like that, you wouldn't want that weight to fall on her, And,
so who's going to be her spotter then?
Well, that's what I'm saying. She wouldn't be able to lift near her max. But
there's nobody.
Yeah, that's right. In her case, they'd probably have to have some special setup just if she was competing. So if something happened, it wouldn't fall on her, But anyway.
Well, let's be real. Like, there are techniques that, lifters in general, whether it be bodybuilders or like fitness people, that they do to, like, especially when they can only exercise by themselves, or they're doing a weight that like no one around in the immediate vicinity could spot. Mm-hmm. And and I know Creaky will know this, but maybe Vladdy doesn't. But most bars have like clamps that at the end to prevent the weights from falling off.
Yes.
But a lot of the times lifters won't put them on, so that if you can't finish your rep, you basically tip yourself to one side so the weights would actually fall off. And obviously, because once they do fall off, it'll be lopsided to the other side, then the other one will fall off, and all of a sudden you've got no weights and you just got a 20-kilo bar. And obviously, that's a lot easier.
Yeah, so, as a matter of fact, Angelus, that's exactly what I do when I'm lifting here in my gym and there's nobody here, is I don't put clamps on it. Just for that reason. But I don't lift her super duper heavy when I'm alone anyway. I mean, the most I'll lift by myself is like 235, and I can lift more than that, but I'm not going to try in case something goes wrong.
I mean, I can like I mean, I'm nowhere near my strongest. I think even at my strongest, I think I could maybe bench 60, 70 kilos.
Okay.
And remember, converted, you benched like 150 plus. That's like well over double mine. So I don't know, even if I was there, if I'd even be able to spot you.
Well, the spotter doesn't have to be able to lift that much. My brother, spots me, up to a point. Now, if I won't lift super heavy with him, but he doesn't have to be able to lift the whole thing, because if I get to a point where I can't get it off my chest, all he's got to do is give me a little assist, and then I can get, between the two of us, we can get it back on the rack, So, but with Alita, if she had 3,000 pounds on the rack, nobody's going to be able to spot her. Now, she could probably bench it without any trouble, but if something went wrong, you see what I'm saying? If one of her systems, had some kind of malfunction in it or something like that, you wouldn't want all that weight to fall down on her, So
the Berserker body is unlikely to malfunction, I'd say.
Yeah, probably. But if it was a doll body, well, she probably couldn't lift that much with a doll body. But
yeah, definitely got to watch out for that.
Now, she is real strong in that doll body, though. Don't take her anything for granted. She's stronger than just about every human in that doll body. But that Berserker
especially
body,
with the power of that big old mind of hers.
Well, not only that, the antimatter microreactor heart, that's going to give her a lot of power. That is, so
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what the Creek would do. If she was a real person, she came over here, she wanted to lift weights with her Uncle Creek, that's what we'd do. We'd lift weights. So, and I wouldn't try to beat her, because it'd be futile to try to do that, so. Okay, so now girls' night out. Now, I got Screwhead up there because I think in the sequel, I think Screwhead's going to make a comeback, and her and Alita are going to become friends. They're going to kind of, get together. It's kind of like El Lamont said in that one video, or that one interview we had with her, that, that Screwhead would be kind of pissed off at the whole situation and form an alliance with Alita, because, everybody's out to get her, and Screwhead's been done dirty and stuff like that. So she would become friends with Alita, And of course, Koyomi, she's a meat girl. She's not going to be, like Screwhead or Alita for that matter. But I could see the three of them, going out for drinks and stuff like that, and just partying together or something. And if any guys tried to do anything dodgy with them, of course, Alita and Screwhead would take care of them pretty easily if they didn't want them to mess with them, So, and Koyomi wouldn't have to do anything. She'd just sit there and, watch, if anybody tried to get too frisky with them, or something like that, And then here's one I think Angelus came up with too: Cyborg's Night Out. That one's going to devolve pretty fast into a fight, because a lot of these cyborgs are going to be drinking. You see the guy on the left there, he was that guy who was sitting at the bar, and he was drinking beer. And I think these cyborgs are going to get a little bit drunk, and then of course it's always going to devolve into a fight, because I remember reading in the novelization that in the Kansas bar they frequently had fights in there. So I think Cyborg's Night Out is going to be their idea of fun is fighting. So it's not going to be like girls going out and drinking, and having fun and stuff like that. These guys might go out, drink, and have fun. Then they're going to get drunk, and they're going to get pissed, and then they're going to start fighting each other. So that's going to happen almost every time, I think.
You have to be pretty inebriated to think you could take on Alita after she, to put it politely, after she just bitch slapped Japan onto the table in front of everyone. And that's after trash talking Japan. I mean, I'd be like, Yeah.
I don't want to mess with this one.
Unless I generally thought I was even on Japan's level. It's like, no.
Yeah, well, first of all, you wouldn't want to try to take on a cyborg. They're going to be stronger than you. They're going to be faster. They're going to be more durable than you. So if you did go to the Kansas bar yourself, you'd want to, you want to kind of stay under the radar, stay low, keep your mouth shut, drink your beer, stuff like that. But, with cyborgs, that's different. They're all fairly on the same level. Now, I would say about Alita is even in her doll body, she not only beat the shit out of Japan, but she also beat the shit out of half of those other cyborgs in the bar. So I mean,
And
she's
she cut off Grishka's arm with her leg.
Imagine what she could do to those guys if she was in a berserker body, which she'd be like an order of magnitude stronger and faster, you know, with self-healing capability. I mean, she would destroy them. You know, I mean, it would even cyborgs wouldn't have any
Well,
chance
she'd
against
destroy them and the bar along with it. But anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Not the
Yeah.
furniture.
Yeah, not the furniture, Alita. So
Well,
cyborgs.
in her case, it'll be not the furniture again, Alita.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, gee, poor girl.
Yeah. But Cyborg's Night Out wouldn't be as much fun as, say, Girls' Night Out or you going on a date with Alita. It wouldn't be the same kind of activity. These two right here, these two would be fun. You know, you know, I can remember I had a girlfriend that would go on girls' night. One time she said, "Why don't you show up? You know, we'll buy you a drink." There was like 4 or 5 of them there, and they all bought me drinks and stuff like this. But that would be girls' night out. Yeah, let's get Creaky. Well, they didn't call me Creaky, but you know, let's get Gary drunk. Yeah. You know, and then this one here, this is not going to be fun. Might start out fun, but it ain't going to end up that way.
No.
So.
I mean, who's going to pick up the bill afterwards?
Exactly. Okay, guys, I think we kind of hit it pretty good. We've been going over 2 hours here. We've talked about, you know, the qualities you would need if you were going to seriously, with a fictitious character, for sure, Alita is. I mean, you know, she's not real, you know, but if there was a person like this, if Alita was real, you know, we talked about what kind of qualities you would need as a person to go out with her, you know, probably, or what would be the best qualities. I mean, certainly Alita's she's going to pick and choose who she'd go out with. Certainly. I mean, you can have all the qualities, say, no, I don't want to go out with you.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what qualities she has. If she likes you, then she likes you.
That's right. That's exactly right. But what we were talking about there is the qualities you would need. It's like if she likes you, wants to go out with you, then those qualities would set up a more fun date, I think, you know. And of course, we talked about Alita's qualities, and we certainly agree that she is human. She's a good person. She has she has a dark side, but she's mostly good. You know, she's mostly a good person. You know, not some evil, you know, kind of villain or something like that. And of course, going out on a date with her, we talked about all the different kinds of activities you could do. And of course, certainly girls' night out, cyborgs' night out, that would, you know, that would be something that would be not date related, but, you know, something that she would also enjoy doing probably. Even the cyborgs' night out, because she enjoys fighting. So she might really love doing cyborgs' night out, because she knows it's going to get in a fight later, and I love to fight, you know, so there you have it. So,
that's true.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think Alita would probably like Cyborg's Night Out more than Girls' Night Out. That'd be just my opinion, you know.
Well, I guess if you wanted to call it this, last words would be both qualities you need and Alita's qualities is that I guess both would need, assuming that you both like each other, like a not necessarily or strong per se, but in the same sort of translation, a steady moral compass. Because obviously, if you both like each other and you both are attracted to some part of the personality of the other person. And you know, like you said, Alita isn't exactly or she's a battle angel, not just an angel.
Yeah. Yes.
I was going to say she's no angel, but I'm thinking, wait, that's not right.
Yeah, she is an angel, but yeah, a battle angel, not a.
But yeah, she does have a moral compass. You know, she only technically murdered Vector because not only was he a bit of a CUNT, but you know, he's
a threat.
evil according to Yeah, he's a threat according to her moral compass.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you have that same sort of affinity, then, you know, again, that's a quality that you need / you have that would, you know, be attracted to Alita and vice versa. So.
Yeah, and that would play into those qualities you need, and because, like you were saying, if she likes you, you like each other. I think to make this to get the most out of the friendship, those qualities we discussed that you would need, that would be, you'd have the highest likelihood of having a successful friendship with her if you had those qualities. You know, now once again, like Lottie says, if she likes you, she's going to go out with you. You know, but if you have these qualities, then she's, you know, you both of you are going to have more fun, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that all makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, because she's not like any other lady you're going to go out with.
No, exactly. There's so much more. There's so much more you could get into the differences of date night that it would differ from a regular human girl.
Yeah, that's right.
But some things are better left in private.
Well, we didn't want to go there.
After stream.
We're not going to go there. But
Indeed.
well, I'll say if she likes you that much, then okay. But no, we're not going to go there.
Alita gets what she wants.
Yes, she does. So, anything else, guys? Did we forget anything?
Well, actually,
so.
On that last subject, but you can leave it on that next screen.
Okay.
And let's face it, it is a factor of two people that are attracted to each other, the intimacy. Like, you'll always find a way to, like, show affection and show intimacy because, and I have to borrow from another franchise here that whether yourselves or anyone in the live chat know about, is the Mass Effect franchise. And I'll try to sum it up as I'll try to sum up as short as possible. Your character,
Please do.
You can choose to go male or female. You can choose who to romance as well. One particular one is like you're very restricted in the physicality of being intimate with them. But long story short, they find a way around that. Yeah. And you'd be able to do the same with Alita. So,
well, Alita strikes me as once again a fictional character for sure. But if she was real, you know, Alita strikes me as a person that, for her to have fun with you on a date, even, she doesn't have to be intimate with you. I mean, you can just go out as friends, you know, and you would have fun. You know, I think that's what that comes down to, you know, because I think she can like you that way, and that'd be a rewarding friendship, I think, you know. So, you know, I don't know, but.
And well, to finish up, and I suppose on a slightly different context too, you know, if I met Creaky in real life, you know, much like I'd hang out with him like him and Rido and Cran would. If I was to go to the UK and pay Vladi a visit, same thing. Like, I've been to the UK once or twice in the past, and you know, it's been loads of fun. A little bit cold at times, but but anyway, just, you know, hanging out in that aspect too. So what you're saying is also spot on.
Yeah, I mean, if Alita really likes you, if she wants to be intimate with you, she might, you know, let you know. You know, if not, that doesn't mean you can't be friends. You know, of course, I think some folks will say, "Oh, I'm going to put you in the friend zone." Oh, who gives a shit about that? You know, I don't anyway. By the way, Vladi, Angela said something that reminded me. Last time I was in the UK was in 2017, and I was there on business, and I went to the place where the business was, and there was this lady there, you know, that you know, my point of contact, you know. So one day it was raining real hard, and I came into the office there, and you know, she says, well, I forget what it was she said, something about the weather or something like that. And I said,
sorry, you're in Britain, did you say?
Yeah, yeah. And I said, it's a lovely day.
Yeah,
for
that's
ducks.
all we ever talk about is the weather. What did you say, sorry?
It's a lovely day for ducks.
Yeah.
So she loved that shit. Boy, she busted out laughing. American knows how a lovely day for ducks is. It's funny.
Yeah.
All right, Vladi, any last thoughts there?
No. Just a date with Alita would be awesome. Maybe one day.
Yes.
That's my aspiration.
We're definitely we'll finish up on the fact that we'll definitely be taking Alita to the Alita sequel.
Yes,
Disney.
we will. Yes, Disney, we are going to get that sequel. I don't care if the Creek has to do a fan-made film. We're going to do it. There is going to be a sequel. When come hell or high water, you know.
Damn right.
Yeah. Well, as you can see there, Alita, you know, she really loves her Uncle Creek. And if you got any problems with that, you know, some of the things we've been talking about in this stream, you're going to have to deal with. So, because, you know, she's definitely got that plasma weapon and she can hurt you. So anyway, that's that. This is our queen, obviously. And, you know, she is number one.
Oh, yeah, I don't like that one. Sorry.
Yeah, I tell you, Rosa is a great actor. God almighty. I've seen her and stuff since Alita, you know, and she always does a great job. She was great in Undone. She was really great, you know. And when I saw her in Divergent, I went back and looked at that, and she didn't have that big a role in that one, but she did really well in that too, you know.
In what, sorry?
Undone. Oh, you mean the other one? You know, Divergent, I think was the other one. She played she played a soldier in that one, you know.
Yeah.
I need to see Chips. That's what I need to see, I think. You know, to see how she pulled that off, you know. So but anyway,
replay the motorcycle scene.
Yes. Especially that one where she's kind of standing in the street, bent over, right? Is that what you're talking about, Aaron Gillis? So, but anyway, yeah, Rosa's number one in the Creeks book, and as I always say every week, it sure don't hurt that she's pretty, because she is definitely very pretty. She's got that ooh going herself, you know. And yes, she is gorgeous, no doubt about it. And of course, a shout out to El Lamont. Shout out to Jesse Fisher and El Lamont. You know, they got that ooh going for them too. And by the way, they got that screwhead, man. They pulled that off great.
Did you see Jesse's doing the handstand splits with the Berserker bodysuit I sent her?
Oh, did you send her a Berserker body?
Yeah, I posted the picture of Jesse doing it.
Oh crap! I gotta go pull. Is it you doing it on Twitter?
Yeah, you probably have to search for it. I can't find it right now. Sorry.
Well, I'll just go to your Twitter feed and see if I can find it.
I mean, it was quite a while ago now.
Well, I'll go down there and look for it. So yeah, I got to see that, you know. But yeah, like I say, they did a great job on Screwhead. That's for sure, you know. And I've seen, I saw Elle in Salvage Marines. She wasn't in the Salvage Marines that long. She was in it for a long time. She had a significant part, but I don't want to spoil. But she was only in like 2 or 3 episodes, I think, you know, at the beginning. So, and she played like a squad leader, you know, or like a sergeant, you know, or not. It wouldn't be a sergeant; it'd be a corporal, I guess. But she was a squad leader. And she did a great job on that. A lot of that stuff reminded me a little bit of my days in DOD, Defense Department, you know. So, and of course, Elle and Jesse, they are really good looking too. They're pretty. So, you know, it doesn't hurt them. They're pretty either. So, anyway, but they did a great job on Screwhead. You know, that's for sure. Okay, I guess who's going to be the host on this one, Angelus?
It should be slated for Maxi, but if he's still under the weather, then I'll be hosting.
Oh, okay. So anyway, it's going to be a topic that's similar to what we talked about here today. Should Alita be single? Should she stay single? You know, Of course, in the manga, she, I think she very briefly lives with Figure 4, doesn't she? But she's single through most of the manga. I think she's, well, certainly in Mars Chronicle, most of that she's a little toddler almost.
I will say this much in the context that it's not just on a romantic context, but like a, considering the future as well, and not just for individuals, but the Iron City, Mars, like the whole Alita verse, as well. And as an example, when we did on today's topic about being a liability in a bar fight, same thing as well. Like, you don't want to be an emotional liability as well.
Yeah, that's right.
But I'll leave it at that, so that if you want to know more or you want to discuss more, come join us tomorrow. Come join us in live chat. Drop us.
I can't make it tomorrow. Sorry.
It's going to be a good topic. It's going to be somewhat similar in some regards to what we talked about, but it's going to go a little deeper, I think. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we don't want to go too deep into it, but we might even talk about what it would be like living with Alita. We might even talk about that. Who knows, how that's going to go. I have to look at the show notes. I haven't looked at them yet, so except to put my name on it in them, I think. So, okay. Why is that image here? Well, that image is there because the Creek likes it and he's running the stream. And to paraphrase Grishka, I'm only here for our girl. And of course, I'm only here for the Alita Army too, as we all in the Alita Army are only here for our girl. Last thoughts there, Vladi or Angelus?
No. Cool stream. I've got to head off now. See you guys.
All right. Well, we're going to do the call to action. Then you go.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay, no, that's okay. So on my count of 3, we'll do the call of action. That's 1, 2, 3.
Film those sequels, baby.
All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, I won the Counter-Strike round. Sorry.
That's all right. We'll see you tomorrow.
I thought we were winding it up so slowly. I started a game. I thought we'd be finished by the time it started.
Oh, well, that's all right. So anyway, we got it done.
Yeah.
So we'll see,
cheers, guys.
See you tomorrow on Radio Chaos, and see you next week on the Alita Live.
See you later.
Bye.
What's up, Alita Army? This is Hot Toys Alita, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Alita Livestream. Please join my Uncle Creek, Angelus, and our other guests for next week's show. Remember, I do not stand by in the presence of evil, and film those sequels, baby. See you next time.